The journey of the Buddha, the birth of Siddhartha. Over 2,500 years ago, in the small kingdom of Kapilavastu, nestled at the foothills of the Himalayas, a boy was born to King Shuddhodana and Queen Maya. This boy, Siddhartha Gautama, was destined to transform the spiritual world. According to legend, Queen Maya dreamed of a radiant, white elephant entering her womb before Siddhartha's birth, a divine sign of his extraordinary future. On the day of his birth, astrologers predicted two possible paths for the child. He would either become a powerful king or a great spiritual teacher. Desiring his son to follow the former path, King Shuddhodana resolved to shield Siddhartha from all suffering, raising him in an environment of unparalleled luxury. The palace life. Siddhartha was raised with every conceivable comfort. He lived in grand palaces, surrounded by beauty and opulence. The king ensured Siddhartha never saw old age, sickness, or death, fearing such sights might lead him to renounce his royal destiny. Siddhartha excelled in every discipline, from archery to philosophy, and was married to a beautiful princess named Yasodhara. Together they had a son, Rahula. Despite his privileged life, Siddhartha felt a deep sense of unease. The pleasures of the palace failed to satisfy him. He began to feel that something profound was missing. The four sights. One day, with his curiosity mounting, Siddhartha ventured beyond the palace gates, escorted by his charioteer. What he saw on these excursions would change his life forever. 1. An old man. Siddhartha learned that aging was inevitable. 2. A sick man. He realized that suffering from illness was a part of life. 3. A corpse. He was struck by the inescapable reality of death. 4. A wandering ascetic. This man, despite having renounced worldly pleasures, appeared serene and content. These encounters revealed to Siddhartha the impermanence of life and the universality of suffering. They awakened in him a desire to seek the truth about existence and liberation from suffering. The Great Renunciation. At the age of 29, Siddhartha made a momentous decision. He left behind his palace, his wife, and his son, renouncing his royal life to embark on a spiritual quest. This event, known as the Great Renunciation, marked the beginning of his journey toward enlightenment. Wearing simple robes and carrying only a begging bowl, Siddhartha sought out the greatest spiritual teachers of his time. He practiced meditation and studied their philosophies, but none provided the answers he sought. He then turned to extreme asceticism, depriving himself of food and comfort in the belief that self-denial would lead to enlightenment. For 6 years, Siddhartha endured severe hardships, but enlightenment remained elusive. The middle way. One day, Siddhartha realized that extreme austerity was not the path to liberation. He remembered a moment from his childhood when he had experienced profound peace while meditating under a tree. Inspired by this memory, he resolved to follow a middle way, a path between indulgence and self-mortification. He accepted a meal from a kind village girl named Sujata, restoring his strength. With renewed determination, Siddhartha sat beneath a Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, vowing not to rise until he had discovered the truth. The enlightenment. For 7 days and nights, Siddhartha meditated deeply. Mara, the lord of illusion, tried to distract him with temptations, fear, and doubt. Siddhartha remained steadfast, confronting Mara with unwavering resolve. As dawn broke on the 7th day, Siddhartha attained enlightenment. He realized the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, the foundations of his teachings. Siddhartha Gautama had become the Buddha, the awakened one, spreading the Dharma. The Buddha spent the rest of his life traveling across northern India, teaching the Dharma, the truth. His first sermon, delivered at the deer park in Sarnath, set the wheel of Dharma in motion. He explained the Four Noble Truths. 1. Life is marked by suffering, dukkha. 2. Suffering arises from craving and attachment. 3. There is an end to suffering, nirvana. 4. The path to liberation is the Eightfold Path. The Eightfold Path outlined a practical guide to ethical living, mental discipline, and wisdom. It consisted of right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. The Buddha's teachings resonated with people from all walks of life. He established a community of monks and nuns, the Sangha, who dedicated themselves to practicing and spreading the Dharma, compassion, and transformation. Throughout his life, the Buddha encountered people burdened by suffering. One of the most remarkable stories is that of Angulimala, a feared bandit who had